Hello, scholars. This is Editor Chad here. I I don't know how to put this other than episode 4 doesn't exist. Um, I recorded it. I played it. I don't know what happened to it, and I don't have it anymore. So, scenario 4 went quite well to my recollection. I'm editing these after I've gone through the campaign, so all I can say is I'm sorry that it doesn't exist. It went well. I had fun. No one died. So yeah, there's no episode 4. It'll just be going straight from episode 3 to episode 5, and I'm sorry about that. Good evening, scholars, and welcome back to the Restricted Collection, a podcast about tabletop games. I'm your host, the head librarian, Chad, and today we're going to be continuing our playthrough of the Night of Vespers campaign as Sebastian Benitez, and we're playing A Chorus of Suffering. This is the one where we went to see an operatic performance and then got taken into this weird alternative version of the opera house where it's flooding and everything is bad, and it's just how life is sometimes. Because of my having seen a dream, had a prophetic dream, I believe that's what it's called. Because I had a prophetic dream, we actually begin at Deluge level 1, as opposed to Deluge level 0. So I get to skip the first cycle of this because we're hitting this earlier than the other two. We also don't have any resources on Volingda, Flosshilda, and Velgunda. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So the objective of this is, so those three that I just mentioned are in the depths, which is taken from Pit of Despair. Then the scenario itself uses, it's a variation on Depths of Yoth. Not to be too reductive, but that's effectively what it is. Now, that's not inherently a bad thing by any means. Now, when you connect to you, you're both that. Interesting. One of the reasons, I'm interested in playing this and checking a couple of things. I was chatting with a friend about how this scenario is particularly difficult to get all of the visions on in True Solo, which I can see because there are a handful of locations that are like, if Deluge is X or higher, you can get a vision. But the visions are just XP, if I'm not mistaken, so I understand that that's annoying from a True Solo perspective, that something entirely out of your hands makes it such that you can't do a thing, but I don't see that as inherently a bad thing. It's not that I'm being excluded from story content necessarily. The only vision that does have story content behind it is level 4, which I believe has to be in play when you're at level 4 anyway, so I don't think you are excluded from that. Is that? Oh, yeah, you hook up to both of those. So let me just... I'm not going to describe the map, all the locations, because the map is random every single cycle. I'm not going to try to get too deep into the, what each location does, because the map is going to be different every time. The way things are connected are going to be different every time. I will read things off as they become relevant. I promise you that. With my 10 XP, I got myself an upgraded dowsing rod and I got the Dread Curse of Azathoth, which I was excited about because it's a way for me to fight using spells. So I begin play at the Sunken Theater, 3 Shroud, 1 per investigator clues. Jinxed. Free trigger, play a card from my hand at no cost, limit once per game. With the new understanding of Chapter 2, I'm 100% confident that that is a once per game, regardless of the number of times the Sunken Theater comes into play. That ruling for Chapter 2, though I think overall good, does murk up a little bit of... especially Lost Quantum. That's the scenario I'm thinking of. Lost Quantum in Dark Matter. All right, so each of the 5 locations that are not the Monument to the Mother will always be in play, but each of the locations that are not the Monument to the Mother will have a burden face down beneath them. I need to find burdens and bring them to the Monument to the Mother. I need to get 2 per investigator clues, and then 1 plus X burdens to the Monument to the Mother, where X is the Deluge level plus 1. So I need to get 2 to the Monument to the Mother. Okay. Okay. So agenda for a Threatening of Our Lady chorus. Is there one who would not weep, whelmed in mysteries so deep? Let us give our final breath. Action: if there's a face-down burden weakness attached to your location, spend any combination of 1 per investigator clues or resources to draw it. Forced after this agenda reaches an autumn... I don't have the right one up front. Threatening of Our Lady, first verse. In the dark, her station keeping, stands the mournful mother weeping for all the days that we may live. Action: if a face-down burden weakness is attached to your location, spend any combination of 1 per investigator, resources, or clues to draw it. Then the Jinx is test agility 2. This gets plus X difficulty, where X is the current level of the Deluge. If you fail, place 1 resource token from the token bank on a chorus enemy with the least amount of resource tokens on it. Limit once per round. 3 doom to advance. The doom threshold compared to what I have been dealing is going to be much tighter. There's 5 agendas. Act 1A, Ocean of Tears. As the waters climb higher and higher, the Teatro de San Carlos, slowly sinks beneath the waves. Amalia Verde's haunting song drifts from somewhere deep within the opera house, undeterred by the rising tide. Maybe you're not much of an opera fan after all. Forced if a chorus enemy would be defeated, place a resource token on her, heal all damage from her, and return her to the depths instead. All chorus enemies get +1 fight, +1 health, and +1 evade for each resource token on them. If there are 1 plus X burden weaknesses at Monument to the Mother, you may spend the requisite amount of clues as a group to advance. X is the current Deluge level. 2 clues per investigator to advance. Burden weaknesses are limit 1 on you, and limit 1 attached to any given location, except for the Monument to the Mothers, which could have as many as it needs. And to be clear, it's 1 plus X weaknesses at the Monument to the Mother. So if I have it, I could just, sit on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to attach 1 and then bring another over, and then that would be sufficient. Opening hand is True Awakening, Deny Existence, Malediction, Fire Extinguisher, and David Renfield. Nice to have a weapon. It's overall okay. I'm pretty okay with this. I'm going to throw out Deny Existence and get a rebound instead. I was hoping for more, but, take what I can get. Okay, so free trigger. Play a card from my hand at cost. Let's go ahead and play True Awakening to get 1 clue. Thank you. And draw 2 cards, which is a Blood of Thoth and a Play the Fool. That's nice. So we are then going to spend 2 as my first real action to play David. I'll tap him for a doom. Nope, I'm not tapping for him for a doom yet, because I'm going to spend 2 and play Blood of Thoth. 1, 2. And then I will tap David, exhaust him, put a doom on him, exhaust him. This will put an offering on Blood of Thoth. and gain me a resource. With my last action, I will spend 2 and get Malediction out. Great. Cool. And then I will transfer a Doom from David to Sin Eater, which will let me exhaust Malediction to add a charge. And charge up Blood of Thoth. And then I will spend 2 from Blood of Thoth to give me a bonus action with which I will spend... I don't have a resource to spend. I will keep the thing on Blood of Thoth. That might be a release valve for Sin Eater, though I guess I could tap David again. But that's a bad idea, because that would put me at 2 Doom in play. That's a bad idea. So, 1 resource card gets me a Ceremonial Sickle. And I've got 1 official Doom plus 1 Doom on Sin Eater. I guess I should check. Deluge is 2 or higher. Deluge is 4 or higher. Okay. So we're at 2 of 3 Doom. Witch's Sabbath. Choose one of the following actions: investigate, fight, evade, or parlay, and put Witch's Sabbath into play next to the agenda deck. I cannot choose an action that has already been chosen. I'm going to choose parlay. Okay. So I definitely need to get rid of the Doom off of David at some point. So I'm going to spend an action and my 1 resource to flip over Humiliation. Free trigger. All of these have a free trigger to pick them up. All of these have an action to attach to my location. The forced effect is what's different. At the end of your turn, if Humiliation is under your control, either take a damage or resolve the Hunter keyword of an eligible enemy in play. Great, I'm going to free trigger pick it up. So, spent an action picking it up. I can then Hermes on over to the Sinking Flight, Force Shroud, 2 clues, 2 per investigator clues. If you trigger Jinx while here, test agility 2. If you succeed, cancel the effects of the Jinx. Okay. Then we're going to move again to get me to the Monument to the Mother, and then I will spend my last action attaching it over. So I got 1 of the 2 that I need. But then I'm going to exhaust David Renfield to gain a resource by putting a Doom on him. And then which will add 1 to Blood of Thoth, and I will spend a charge for Malediction to gain the clue from this location, putting me at 2. And then I'm going to exhaust to eat that Doom from Sin Eater, which will put Blood of Thoth up another 1, and I will exhaust Malediction to recharge it. And then I will spend 2 off of Blood of Thoth to give me the action I need to clear Sin Eater. Magic. I think that's it. I could exhaust David again, but that's counterproductive to what I want to be doing right now. Resource card. Lachnamaram's Favor, Veil of Tears. When I draw or reveal an Elder Thing token from the Chaos Bag, trigger the current Jinx, and then discard Lachnamaram's Favor. It doesn't say that it can only leave from the above effect, so I could play over it. So I'll take that. 2 of 3 Doom. We are in the Witching Hour. Another Witch's Sabbath. Evade. Great. To be clear, what's the bad thing if I do those things? When an investigator performs an action chosen by the Witch's Sabbath succeeds, trigger the current Jinx. So, and then I can free trigger, take a direct damage and a direct horror to discard a copy of Witch's Sabbath. It's not great, but it's also not the worst, so I'm okay for now. Might as well go ham on effects. I don't need more clues. I don't need more clues. So we're going to go ahead and move over to the Collapsing Tea Room. Oh, you should have an extra clue on you, because forced when the collapsing tea room enters play, plus put X clues on it. X is the current level of deluge. Great. We're gonna move over here. That was my Hermes action. Unless there's... Oh, never mind. We're gonna go over to the Whitewater hallways. Forced if deluge is 2 or higher, the test below gets plus X difficulty, where X is the level of deluge. However, it's not. Free trigger, test agility 2. If you succeed, draw the burden attached to this location, otherwise take a damage. That's fine. We're going to be 1-up. Skull minus X. X is the current level of deluge, which is 1 anyway. I guess I should read the other tokens while I'm thinking of it. Cultist minus X. X is the number of resource tokens on the course. Enemy with the least resource tokens. Tablet minus 1 if you fail and are currently in control of a burden weakness. Attach that card to the nearest location without an attached burden weakness. Elder Thing minus 3 if you fail, put a resource token on a course enemy in the depths. But I succeeded, so I moved, I free triggered. So I still have 3 actions. Pursued. At the end of your turn, if pursued is under your control, either take a horror or resolve the hunter keyword on the nearest eligible enemy in play. It's not going to be a problem. First of my 3 real actions, we're going to move back. And then I will spend the 2 clues and advance. Because I can. 1, 2. So we advance. You lay down your burdens before the statue. There is a sudden flash of blinding light, and when your sight returns, the churning waters have receded slightly, but outside the rain pours down harder than ever. So if you read this card strictly, it actually doesn't totally work, but in a rules as intended as opposed to rules as written, this card's fine, but rules as written, this card is a little bit messy, so I will translate it as I go. So set each location side out of play. That's fine. Okay, return all the burdens back. That's fine. Increase deluge by 1. So now I need to get 3 things onto the monuments to the mother. Okay, so each investigator who's not at the monument to the mother is swallowed by the rising tide. The problem, and this is the problem, is it told me to remove all locations from play, and then it tells me that everybody who's not at the monument to the mother is dead. Well, the monument to the mother isn't in play. But it's, I know what you mean. Okay. Draw a random set-aside weakness, or set-aside location other than the monument to the mother. So it technically has me put the monument to the mother to the side. I'm just going to leave it in play and refresh its clues, because that's functionally what happens. I get teleported to a new location, which is the collapsing tea room. Enters play, put X clues on it, where X is the current level of deluge. I guess the locations don't refresh on clues thing would also muck up this scenario. So I'm ignoring it because this is how the scenario is supposed to work. So we're gonna let that do its thing. We have the sunken theater again, the sinking flight again. I swear I shuffled this. The Whitewater hallway again. I swear I shuffled this, and the drowned foyer, which is new. For whatever that is worth. Okay. And then we get 5 burdens on every 1 under each location that is not monuments to the mothers. Done. Refresh clues. 1, 2. Just trust me, I'm doing this as I'm doing this as correctly as I can. To my understanding, I'm doing it fully correctly. If the deluge level was 4, we would have some special things, but it's not. It's just 2. So this gets flipped over and is still us. So I still have 2 actions with the collapsing tea room as the start point for this level. Great. I'm going to exhaust David Renfield to put a doom on him and gain a resource. When that happens, I will spend a charge from Malediction to discover a free clue. Because I might as well. Okay. And then that charges up the Blood of Thoth. Sin Eater is going to exhaust, eat that doom from David, and ready him, which will put another thing on Blood of Thoth. And I could spend another... I mean, I could just get the 2 clues now. I'm going to get the 2 clues now. I'll spend another charge for Malediction to get another clue. So I have all the clues I need, and that got me another $1. So I'm at $4 as I re-exhaust David, which I will exhaust Malediction and recharge it, and that puts another thing on Blood of Thoth because I put a Doom on David. Great. So I'm at 4 resources, if I did the math right. And by did the math right, I mean kept all the numbers right in my head. And so I will spend 2 from Blood of Thoth to generate a Blood of Thoth action. So I still have 3 actions. So I will spend the Blood of Thoth action to spend 1 resource to see what's at my location. Mourning. At the end of your turn, if Mourning is under your control, either take a damage or discard 2 cards. Okay. So I will free trigger pick it up, and then I will move over and deposit it at the Mother Monument to the Mothers. First of 3. Okay, ready everything. Resource and a card. Ouija board. I mean, it would be nice to be able to get clues. It would be nice to be able to get clues without having to cheat them all the time. But right now, cheating clues seems to be working just fine. We hit 3 of 3 Doom. And advance. The waters surge around your knees. And Amalia's song grows even louder. How will you escape from this terrible nightmare? Find the course enemy in the depths with the least amount of resource tokens and spawn it in the location where the investigators began this level. So I'm going to take Velgunda, I believe. Does 2 damage, and when it comes into play, I must either pay X resources or it makes an immediate attack against me, except there are no resources on it, so it doesn't do anything. So that is in play there. Then it is Our Lady's second verse. Through her heart your sorrow sharing, all your bitter anguish bearing, now at last all life has passed. Same text, the Jinx is now a 3 difficulty. Okay, my encounter card is Urban Decay. Attached to my location, when you would succeed at any test at its location, I must also test Will X, where X is my location's shroud value, currently 1. If you fail, choose to either take a direct horror or fail the original test. As an action, I can add a Doom to the agenda to discard it. This may cause the agenda to advance. I don't think that's going to be a problem. All right, so it's only 1 Doom. It's only 1 Doom. So let's go ahead and exhaust Renfield for a Doom, which charges up the Blood of Thoth. And I will exhaust Malediction to charge that up as well. And you can't move to the Sinking Flight, so I'm probably going to go to the Sinking Flight. I will spend 2 off of Blood of Thoth to get an action. So I've got 4 regular actions and a Hermes action. So let's Hermes on over to the Sinking Flight. Unless I want to go to the Whitewater. Let's go to the Whitewater hallways, actually. Because again, same thing. If I can... It's a 4 difficulty test now. How good am I at agility? Not great. I'm 1 down normally. If I can save an action on it, that's pretty nice. Yeah, let's try it. I'm 1 down. Elder Thing. When you draw or reveal an Elder Thing token from the cast bag, trigger the current Jinx. So the current Jinx is... Because it's... This is so confusing. So like it... Sorry, this is just it's a timing issue. So after a skill test you are taking fails before resolving its effects. So I revealed it, which happens in process. So I trigger a test in a test. Okay. And then I'll be making a test off of this test. Okay. So... Wait, why am I... Right, because I'm doing Lachnamore. That's why that's what's triggering this. Forced when you draw... Yeah, so I got a -2. I'm going to add a Doom to Sin Eater to Well, actually, I really don't care. I just put a resource on the chorus enemy with the least amount of tokens on it. So I'm going to put it on the middle one. The one that deals the damage in a horror. That's fine. Okay, then I'm going to add a Doom to Sin Eater, which will charge up Blood of Thoth. To attempt this test again, and I will commit Rebound to be 6 to 4. Do I want to commit Ouija board to this? Do I want to commit Ouija board to this? Because I'm getting clues just fine. Yeah, we'll be 7 to 4. -3. Great. I did it. So I don't suffer the failed effects of the Elder Thing token, I believe, because I did other things. Pursued. If it is under my control, either take a horror or resolve the hunter keyword. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to pick it up, and then we're going to move, and then we are going to deposit it at the monument to the mothers. Now, if I stay here, I have 1 regular action left. I must either take a horror or resolve the hunter keyword on the nearest eligible enemy. That, or I'm going to get hit by Volgunda. So sorry, I'm debating if I come and deposit Pursued, then I will have no actions left. I will have 1 action left with which I can get rid of Sin Eater, or 1 action left with I can get rid of I can move away so I don't get hit. And I think that's going to be getting rid of the Doom. So I'm going to eat the 1 off of David and clear Sin Eater, which will charge you up Blood of Thoth. So I'm going to get hit for 2 damage, but that's fine. And then I can figure out what I'm doing next turn. Okay, so you come hit me for 2 damage. Ow. 1 of which is going to go on David. 1 of which will go on me. Resource and a card. Well, I'm glad I put it on David, because I got Great Prince Cameo. Not a great time for that, if I'm being honest. Okay, so search my deck, discard pile and play area for him, and set him aside. The regular version, the ally version of him is in my deck. I'm just going to leave him there. If I find him, I'll draw through him. I cannot succeed at test without triggering my reaction ability, and I can take a direct damage and a direct horror to discard him and shuffle the regular version of him back into my deck. Not great. 1 of 3 Doom, because I have none on my cards now. And I draw Anathema. I must attach it to either the current act or the current agenda. While it is in play, increase the shroud of each location by 1. At the end of the round, if you are at a location with a shroud of 5 or higher, take a horror. Okay. We're going to attach this to the act. Okay. So I'm going to punch the Daughter of the Rhine. I'll use 1 of my regular actions. Actually, I'm going to spend 2 off of Blood of Thoth and just use that action first. Okay, I am 4 to 1. That's a 0, but I can't succeed unless I use my ability. So after you succeed the skill test, place a Doom on a non-permanent asset you control. We're going to put it on Malediction. When I do this, I'm going to spend a charge from Malediction to deal a damage to the enemy, and then try this test again, 3 up. Skull -2. You're dead, which will defeat you and put you back into the depths with a resource marker on you. Okay, I've got the 2 clues. I just need one more thing. I'm going to take a direct damage and a direct horror, ow, to get rid of the bad guy. I see, this is why I didn't take him out of the deck, because I didn't find him, and I'm just going to shuffle on through. And then I can move into the Sinking Flight, spend an action to reveal, spend an action in a resource, I should say, to find Humiliation, pick it up for free, walk it back, and be on my way. So I'm out of actions. I'd be out of actions, but I would advance. Or I can leave Humiliation stuck here at the Sinking Flight and then clear off with Sin Eater. That's the better way to do things. Because that charges up Blood of Thoth and Malediction, and it means I get another round before another bad thing shows up. I mean, if Blood of Thoth, at worst, if Blood of Thoth is just getting me the action to clear it, that is helpful overall. But I did not pick up Humiliation because didn't need it. Offering Bowl. Okay. 2 of 3 doom, so I'm going to go a little ham this turn. Dissolution. Test Will 2. This gets +X difficulty where X is the current agenda, so I'm even. -3. I will add a doom to Malediction, which I will use to just exhaust it and add a charge to it. It's add a charge, not replenish. Great. That puts a thing on Blood of Thoth. To try again at 2 up. Cultist -X, X the number of resource tokens on the chorus enemy with the least resource tokens on it. So it's 0. Huzzah. So I don't have to do either of the bad things. Love that. Okay, I'm going to pick up Humiliation for free and walk it over. So I walked it over, and then I will quickly spend 2 and get a Blood of Thoth, 2 offerings to get a Blood of Thoth action. So I have 4 regular actions when this advances. So Anathema's gone. The Witch's Sabbaths are still there, but we do a reset. So let me do the resets. Urban Decay gets discarded. All of the burdens go back over here and get shuffled in. And then all of the locations get shuffled back, other than the Monument to the Mothers, because I'm just going to leave that for now. This puts us at 3 of what will need to be 4 Deluge. Once we hit 4 Deluge, I either need to beat up a particular enemy, or I need to do it all over again with 5, which I think is going to be too much in solo. I do think that is too much in solo. This is a very action-intensive scenario in solo, and I have a Boon of Hermes and Blood of Thoth. All right, my new starting point is the Sunken Theater. 3 Shroud, 1 per Investigator. Clues. And then we have the Submerged Chamber, the Drained Arcade, the White Water Hallways, and the Collapsing Tea Room. 1 requires Deluge to be 3 or higher to get a memory. I have yet to get any memories. So you hook up, and everything connects to the Mother of Mothers except for where I am. Okay, that's fine. I'm not mad. You're mad. Clue, except for you get a bunch more clues. The Collapsing Tea Room. Clue. Okay. And then everything gets a burden. What do I hook up to? I hook up to everything other than the Drained Arcade right now. Okay. I still have 4 actions, but I've exhausted the Blood of Thoth and I've exhausted Malediction. I'm going to exhaust Sin Eater to eat a doom off of Malediction and add a charge to it. Because I can. I have no clues. I have 5 resources. I don't really need money. It might be nice to get a weapon down eventually, but I also... I could pick up the thing at my location and run it over. That's not terrible. I'll spend a resource and an action, Blood of Thoth action, to find nightmares. If it's under my control at the end of my turn, either take a horror or draw the top card of the encounter deck. Great. 1, 2, drop it off. Keep it simple. Oh, I could have spent a charge to pick up a clue. Might as well have done that as well. Thanks, Malediction. You're the real hero right now. Ready everything. Resource card. Cat Mask. Ooh. And then we hit 3 of 3 doom. Okay. So... Chased by the shadowy sirens that lie beneath the waves, you push yourself harder against the tide. If only there was some sign, anything at all, that might help you find your way out of this horrible place. So the double horror one comes into play. Its ability still doesn't matter because it doesn't have any resource tokens on it. And then I must decide to either listen to Amalia's lyrics. There must be something useful there. By the way, the daughter of the Rhine, they're all daughters of the Rhine, but she spawns where I started, so I'm glad I left. So I can either listen to Amalia's lyrics. There might be something useful hidden in them, to attach the burden weakness nearest to my location, not at the monument to the mother, to the monument of the mother, and add a resource token to each of them. I think I'm going to do that. I'm not terribly scared of them. Let's go ahead and grab the one from the submerged chamber. No, I'm going to be going to the submerged chamber. Collapsing tea room. Might as well just grab it. It's pursued, but it's attached. I don't have to worry about it. Still 3 doom. Still able to get things. The third verse, can the human heart refrain from partaking in her pain? Let us share her grief divine. The jinx is now just test agility X, where X is the current level of deluge. Great. Okay. I know my actions don't ready until the start of my turn, but it's just old habit. All right, threefold evils. I can't choose option 2 of 3 because there is no other player. So I must either choose and discard 1, resolving the other 2, or discard all 3 and add 1 doom to the current agenda. Anathema's fine. You can attach to the act. Locus of control attached to my location. That's going to be rough for staying at the monument to the mother, but while I'm here, it gets +4 div all tests. While you're at the locus of control's location, tests you are taking get +X difficulty, where X is the number of connecting locations. And I'm going to discard Drowned in Sorrows because it surges, and I just don't want to deal with that. So let's spend 2 off of Blood of Thoth to get a bonus action. So 4 regular actions and a Hermes. Let's Hermes on in to the submerged chamber. And then let's spend a resource and flip this as an action. So I have 3 regular actions left. It's morning. Pick it up for free, move back, and drop it off. I'm going to stay here, which is not a great idea, but I'm going to stay here just so I can not get attacked. So for my last action, let's get... It'd be nice to have a weapon, but I don't really need... I'm going to get the cat mask. I don't need a weapon right now. For the most part, I don't need a weapon. I really miss having David Renfield to just trigger Doom when I want it to. Maybe that is the most compelling reason to get Blood Pact, is just so I can trigger Doom when I want to. But yeah, let me get Cat Mask out. Just so I can get some bonus. Do I want Cat Mask or do I want Fire Extinguisher? They're both good. Let's get the Fire Extinguisher out. That way She can't make it to me. Cat Mask. She can't make it to me. So that cost me 1. Okay, I'm going to have you go into the collapsing tea room. Just fine. Go the way over there. Resource and a card puts me at 4 resources, and I drew Deny Existence. And then we add a Doom, putting us at 2 official Doom. Is that supposed to clear? How would I have added Doom? How would I have added? Oh, because I took the test. I'm just going to play that I have the Doom there. Drowned in Sorrows. If you do not control a burden asset, gain Surge. Cut the Thread. Test will 3, will 7, actually. If you fail, remove an ally card with the released remaining health. If no card is removed, you must take a direct damage, and this card gains Surge. Don't love that. I'm 4 to 7. Elder Sign. I may remove a Doom from... I'll remove a Doom from Sin Eater. Great, thanks. That's funny, but I should have spent one with Cat Mask. I should have. I didn't, but I should have. We're going to go ahead and put a Doom on Cat Mask, which will recharge Blood of Thoth. And I will exhaust Malediction. No, I'm going to just spend a charge for Malediction to get a clue from here, so I have the 2 clues I need. Hooray. And then we will take this test again. I will use the Cat Mask. Which puts me at even. I'm at 8. I am at 8. We are going to play the Fool to this to be 9 to 7. -1. Great. Staying here was not maybe the best idea, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Sin Eater's going to eat the thing off of Cat Mask, which will let me exhaust Malediction for a charge and refresh Cat Mask and put another thing on Blood of Thoth. Goodness gracious. Yeah, maybe I should get Dark Pact just to be able to trigger it when I want it. We're going to move to the Drained Arcade, and I'm going to spawn... I must either discard X cards from my hand or play area, or get an immediate attack, or I'm choosing who I want to spawn. I'm going to spawn the one that makes me pay resources, so I will spend 2 resources when she comes into play. I'll put her at the Sunken Theater. I haven't decided if I'm using the Blood of Thoth action yet, but I've moved, and then I free-triggered, drew the card beneath the Drained Arcade by paying the cost of putting her into play. Sickness. At the end of your turn, if it's under your control, either take a damage or draw the top card of the encounter deck. Sure. Walk on back. So I have 2 regular actions, maybe a Thoth action if I want it, but I will spend 2 clues and advance again. Oh, I could have also read Deluge 3 Vision. I'll have done that when I was there, because it's just flavor text. And remember, you read a vision. But I was at the Submerged Chamber last round, and I could have read it. Yeah, it's a bit to keep track of. So I apologize for being a little sporadic. But also, this scenario has a bit to keep track of. This deck has a bit to keep track of. It's a bit. But... advance. So Anathema goes away, and we reset, but this time, because Deluge is now 4, the Sunken Theater will will come into play automatically, and Malia Verde will spawn there. Great. That has 1 clue. Then the Daughters of the Rhine go back into the depths, And everything will reset as normal. We just have an extra location this time. 1, 2, 3. Locus of control goes away. Thank you. And 1 clue on the mother, monument to the mother, as it, refreshes its play. So I either need to bring all 5 to here, or I need to beat her up. Probably going to beat her up, but I do have a bit of time. 1, 2. Forgot to shuffle you in. Great. 1, 2. I've always said how much I love shuffling tiny stacks of cards. Anything, 10 or less cards, it's like, why am I even shuffling this? It just doesn't feel like anything's happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Attach a card to the deck of burdens to each location other than the monument others. So there is a 6th one this round, because the Sunken Theater gets it, and then we get 4 locations no matter what, in addition to the Monument to the Mother and the Sunken Theater. Well, where do I spawn this round? I spawn at the Drowned Foyer, which is not directly connected to either of them. Really? Funny. 2, 3, 4. So, Sinking Flight and Whitewater Hallways both connect to where I am. That's nice. Drained Arcade again, Backstage, Cenote. So I've got the reaction for Deluge being 1 or higher, and I've got a reaction for Deluge being 4 or higher. So that's not... I won't be able to get the 2-1, but again, I think that's just XP, which, is a little annoying that there was XP that I couldn't get and was out of my hand. But on the other token, there are VP enemies in the deck, and just sometimes you just never see them. Okay, you're there. Is that more or less how this works? That's more or less how this works. Let me just rearrange a little bit to make it a little bit more sensible. Yeah, the great thing about audio podcasts, listening to someone organize things in a physical space. Because Amalia Verde is in play, we advance to Act 2. So, do we advance to both Act 2s? Both versions of Act 2. Okay. So Act 2A, Coda, the exit aria. Amalia emerges onto the sunken stage, a blurry figure amidst all the rain. A terrible, desperate realization settles over you. Amalia must be under the sway of Mater Lacnomarum, or perhaps something worse, a willing vessel for the Mother of Tears herself. If you want to survive the night, you know what you have to do. Forced, of course, enemy would be defeated. That's the same. If she is defeated, advance. She being Amalia Verde. Coda Catharsis. Desperation and panic are causing you to lose your wits, to doubt yourself. Amalia has to be the prisoner of Mater Lacnomarum, a victim of forces out of her control like you. Maybe you haven't given enough of yourself to the Mother of Tears. Maybe you can convince her that you deserve to live. If there are 1 per investigator plus 1 burden weaknesses. Oh, only 2? I only need you to get 2. Advance. I might do that. I've never gone that route. I've always just beaten her up because I'm a terrible person. So yeah, let's try that. I still have 2 regular actions left. And I could get a Blood of Thoth action if I wanted to. We are going to clear Sin Eater. That's a good idea. So that's one of my regular actions, and I will spend a resource to play Offering Bowl, with which I will exhaust it and take a direct, or to say it's not direct damage, but take a damage to get 2 resources. And that gets me to 3 resources. And then I will spend 2 off of Blood of Thoth to get a Blood of Thoth action to flip over that there is urges, or there are urges here. If urge is under your control, take a damage or discard an asset under your control at the end of your turn. I did not pick it up because I don't have to. I'll do that next turn. I just wanted it there for me to easily pick up. I guess there is purpose for me to go to the Sunken Theater, though. But yeah, we'll figure that out. It's not forced. It's just if there are 2 burden weaknesses attached to monuments in them, I guess I don't know. It's unclear if it's a may advance or not. So let's treat it as if it's not. What's the previous one say? Okay. We'll treat it as not. I'll take the attacks if I need to. Great. Resource and card. Hemophobia. I think this is the first time I've actually drawn you. Okay, we go to 2 of 3 doom. Still nothing bad happens, because I've been keeping my doom in check. Flood of Grief. Test any skill 1. This test gets +X difficulty works at the current level of Deluge, which is 4. So it's a 5 difficulty test. If you fail, take a damage in a horror. Regardless of whether you succeeded or failed, if you chose a skill with a value of 4 or higher, lose an action. Excuse me. I'd rather not take unnecessary damage in horror right now, so I am going to... Well... I'm more worried about the pings from Hemophobia. So I'm going to pick Will. No, I'm going to pick Strength. And probably fail the first one. So I'm 1 down on the first attempt. Skull, -XX is the current level of Deluge. I'm about to fail. We're going to add a Doom to the Offering Bowl, which I will then exhaust to add a thing to charge to Malediction. Well, no, put it on Malediction, because then I can use Sin Eater to further charge it. Like, why am I not doing it that way? Then we're going to use Cat Mask and commit Ceremonial Sickle to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 5. Skull -X. X is the current level of Deluge. I succeeded. Nothing bad happens. I do lose an action, which I will deny existence. Oh, no, I'm not going to deny existence of that. I'd rather keep it for if I take 2 horror from Amalia, if I'm being honest. So, let's go ahead and spend 2 actions getting rid of Hemophobia. Not my favorite use of time, but it is a use of time. And then I can eat Sin Eater. I can eat a Doom with Sin Eater, which will charge up Malediction some more. Thanks, Malediction. And then that also recharges Cat Mask. This is why this works. That gives me a Blood of Thoth action, so I can now pick up Urges as a free, move, drop off. That's it for that turn. Resource and a card. Malediction has 7 charges on it, and I gotta watch this. 3 of 3 Doom. And a sudden riptide sweeps you under, and you search for purchase among the rungs of a sunken balcony. Suddenly, a tug at your ankles pulls you below. One of the sirens has grabbed hold of you. Find the chorus enemy in the depths with the least amount of resources on them, which is Volinde. Unfortunately, the double horror one. And then when she enters play, she either attacks you or discard the top X non-weakness cards of their deck from the game. So I'm going to remove the Great Prince Stolas from the game. Bye, Stolas. It's the only way you can get removed from my deck. Then find the investigator with the lowest agility. That's me. That investigator must spend any combination of 4 clues or resources. I will spend $4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And not take a physical trauma. The chorus. If there is any who would not weep, whelmed in the mysteries so deep, let us give our final breath. Same text, except for now when this reaches an odd amount of doom, spawn the chorus enemy in the depths with the least amount of stuff on them. Cool. What's my encounter card? Cut the thread. Well, at least I'm up on this one. I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 with Cat Mask to be 6 to 3. I'm going to take a damage with Offering Bowl, putting me at 4 of 9 to gain 2 resources, and then commit Watch This to this, spending all 3 of my resources to be 7. 7 to 3. Elder Sign. Sure, I'll remove a Doom off of Sin Eater. That's fine, and I'll gain $6. Thanks. Great. What are we doing with my life? That's a great question. I want... Okay. So... trying to think about where I can go. I can go a lot of places. I want to get Deluge level 4. Do I need to? I don't need to. Because getting to Deluge, getting the thing just gets me a weakness that I'm not using for its intent. I'm not going that route. So instead of burdening myself with that, let's go ahead and just win. I'm going to go to the Drained Arcade. We're going to spawn the one that cost me resources. Yeah, you spawn into play at a connecting location. I have to spend X resources, where X is 2, to just draw this card. I can then pick it up as a fast, so I can move back, and then I have to attach it. So now that there are 2 attached, we can advance. Your worst memories rise unbidden, the sorrows that shaped you, the regret that has followed you for years. They are the price of your freedom. Slowly you release them. One by one your memories slip away, carried by the surging tide. Each one leaves you a little lighter, but so too do you feel the shape of their absence as they are stolen away to be woven into this realm's endless tapestry of sorrow. And then you are standing at the center stage of the Teatro di San Carlo, restored and pristine. Amalia gasps for breath on her hands and knees before you, wide-eyed with wonder and disbelief. You've escaped, but something of you remains behind, taken by the Mother of Tears. R1. Neat. Because I don't think I'm going to actually, stop the mothers in any of their machinations. Course of Suffering. R1. Heavy curtains block the midday sun from shining into Amalia's personal apartment, casting her otherwise opulent quarters into dim gloom. She gestures towards the mild-mannered aide at her side, who thanks you for freeing her from the grip of something far darker than she could have ever imagined. But then man's voice falters, and he delivers his next word in a hushed, almost reverent tone. The experience has cost Amalia her voice. She will never sing again. Amalia pinches her lips into a thin, hard line as her aide explains there is no hope of recovery, no chance of reclaiming what was taken. For her, the stage is forever lost. She gestures to a stack of papers on the nearby table, her financial records. Amalia wishes to return all the money Madame Giuliano invested into her career, the aide explains. Every lira. She doesn't want anything to do with that woman ever again. As you rise to leave, Amalia gestures at a small wooden box on the table beside her. The man retrieves a sheaf of yellowing paper from within and hands it to you. This, the attendant explains, was composed by Amalia's great-uncle Giuseppe Verdi, the Sicilian Vespers, an accursed opera that Madame Giuliano wished Amalia to perform. She wishes to give it to you as a gift or perhaps a warning. Amalia's eyes meet yours, filled with an unspoken apology. She has given you what she can, but in the wake of her loss, it is all that is left of her legacy. We visited Naples. We rescued Amalia. We gained 2 bonus experience for freeing Amalia. Neat. Any one investigator may add the Eversepi Siciliani story asset to their deck. I don't know what this does. I Vesespi Siciliani Parole Fatale Insulto Morte. Apologies. 3 cost, double wild, spell, song. Uses 3 charges. You may use will instead of strength for this attack, and you get +2, I'm assuming, skill value. This attack does +1 damage. If this attack defeats an enemy, you may choose to put 1 doom on this card or take a horror. If you do, replenish a charge. Oh, heck yeah, that's totally going into my deck. Each investigator takes 1 mental trauma, from the loss of identity they endured. That's not great. GG's assisting the investigators, so R3. And I get GG is angry as hell. So the upgraded GG now gives me bonus will, which I love. And gets me a resource if I succeed on will tests against treachery cards, and when I use her ability. All right. Proceed to resolution 4. There are not 10 total resources between the 3 of them. There's only 5. If I had all 4 visions, nope. I had only one of the visions, actually. I have not visited the other locations. Madalena does not currently guide my path, so now I gain Madalena guides my path, and we're going to go... We're already in Europe, so let's go ahead and check out the Garden of Bones. I forgot to count how much XP I got. Oops-a-daisy. So I get +2 bonus experience for saving her, and then I get... That's it. That's it. I think that's it. I think that's it. I only get 2 XP. I don't know what I would spend 2 XP on, so I'm not going to spend 2 XP on anything. I'll save that for later. Did I only get 2 XP? Okay. Well, if anybody wants to get in contact with me about anything, feel free to reach out to me at therestrictedcollection@gmail.com. Otherwise, you can find me around Reddit and Discord as Head Librarian Shad. Thanks for listening.